Thank you for continuing watching this channel. And we have a good third person with us today. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And you are?
Amy Wilson.
And Amy, what's your title here?
I am the Citizen Corps Volunteer Coordinator.
Citizen Corps Volunteer Coordinator. Wow.
I
I hope I don't have to write that down every time.
Copy and paste.
Oh, computer illiterate. Oh,
Yes.
darn it. But we want to step back a minute and just cover one issue, one grant that you had not had a chance to talk about yet. So why don't you just do that, and then we'll get Amy in here.
Okay. One of the second largest grant that we do have, and that's why we've asked Amy to join us today, is the maternal health grant. And the maternal health grant is, there was some funding through the Corporation of National and Community Service and the federal government. And it's actually a volunteer Michigan grant. And any volunteer center could apply, but they had to apply under health or safety.
Okay.
And after the H1N1 incident, we had a lot of volunteers that really, really wanted to do something more. They were really itching, saying, okay, what's next, you know? And this just happened to come along at the right time. And so we decided, I talked with public health because we work with them very frequently, and asked, what issues do you guys have that needs to be addressed? And one of the issues they talked about was infant mortality. And some of the causal effects of infant mortality in Muskegon County are smoking, obesity, STDs, and lack of access to health care. But the biggest one being STDs, because chlamydia and gonorrhea right now are at epidemic proportions and have been for the last couple years here in Muskegon County. So, and that can have causal effects on the mother and on the child. So, talked to a lot of volunteers and got some other partners like Hackley Community Care, Public Health, of course, and Every Woman's Place, and Emergency Management. And then we decided to, why not include Oceana County too? So we went up and we talked to their health department and found out, what are your issues up here that would help a mother carry a child to full term with less, incidences. And they said smoking and obesity. So we partnered with the health department, Lakeshore Hospital, and the Northwest Clinic in Shelby up there to start addressing some of the issues of this. And trying to figure out how our volunteers can fit into going out and doing trainings in the community to help address some of the issues and to help stamp out or even just make one little, person or,
One person out of
change.
the hundred is knowledgeable of it.
Yes.
It's training and education, is it not? Yes.
Yes. And actually, and I also want to include the Career Tech Center, the health class, because Kathy Andrews, who is the instructor there, is doing a fabulous job she even went out and got a grant for umbrella strollers to get young mothers to get active and start exercising and walking with their children. Because a lot of them don't know, what's going on. So they're going to go out into the schools and hand out the umbrella strollers. And those that have children at a younger age, they're going to try to get together classes for these young mothers to be able to go out and just take 5 minutes and walk around the schools or do something with their children. So
It's amazing how the world has changed, isn't it?
yes,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was expected in the years past, and now it's, you don't know that when you talk to some of the older
It has
citizens.
to be
and,
taught.
Oh my gosh, they have to be taught, and they never were.
Yes.
And
Yep.
it sounds like you work very closely with Career Tech Center too. You have
Yes.
a lot of students there that you can get to pass on information from this organization,
That
which
is
is
true.
great.
Yep.
Now, do you think we ought to start getting Amy in on this? And,
I think we ought to because Amy just came on as the volunteer coordinator to help with this grant. And she is going to be doing a lot of recruiting. She's fairly new, so
so we have to be easy on her?
we have to be easy
Oh.
on her.
Yes.
But Amy is a return person here.
Okay.
A return employee. I don't.
Involved before and came back to help.
Yes. So she can.
Couldn't leave the place, could
No,
you?
no.
No?
Nope. And Amy's mother actually worked here as an RSVP director. So Amy is very familiar with our center and what we're all about and what we do. So,
So she's a contributor. She doesn't take your time learning things anymore.
no.
So, Amy, how do you fit in and get out and make this stuff happen? This has got to be a tremendous burden on your shoulders, too, as far as time and responsibility.
Well, like Rana said, the biggest part of my responsibility is recruitment. And again, I'm still learning all the aspects of it. I have been recently tasked with a new database, Hands On Connect, which is going to enable us to better advertise our volunteer opportunities to the community. People will be able to create a free account and go on and look for available opportunities. And then the other side of that is that we'll be able to collect data from that and give it back to the other organizations
Okay.
for their grant purposes and,
A neat clearinghouse again.
yeah. So I'm in the process of learning that.
So
She's-
how long have you been back here now?
A month?
Yeah.
Approximately.
he is
yeah.
new then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was here for a year and left for, I don't know, 9 months and then,
Too long.
yeah.
Couldn't stay away.
No, I was very happy.
Well, it's a great organization, and now
Yes.
you're making it happen again. So,
Yes, I'm very excited.
so and you're jumping in with both feet this time.
Definitely.
So you expect great things from Amy for this organization.
Oh, I've already seen great things from Amy in
Excellent,
just a month.
excellent. That's very nice.
It's been a real good working relationship, and Amy she's wonderful, and she's got the tech savvy that
You mean
a lot
she's
of us.
computer illiterate?
She's very computer
Computer
literate.
Oh, I'm illiterate. And you know, in today's world, it's so necessary because you see so many numbers and everything coming through that you've got to keep tabs on them, and that's what your job is. You don't want to lose anybody that can be here or be ready to work
Right.
and help out. You got to put them in that computer, and they're there,
Right.
and remind them that they're needed at times.
Yes, absolutely. That seems to be one of the biggest challenges that we have is communication because we work with such a huge range of people from ages 12 to 112, and each one of those groups prefers a different type of communication method, whether it's texting or email or phone calls or, regular mail. So,
Snail mail for
Snail
the
mail,
older ones.
there you
Okay,
go.
I understand.
so finding a balance with that has been
Uh-huh.
a bit of a challenge.
It's a challenge,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yes. Well, that's great. So, how many people would you be communicating with when you're doing this communicating? Just give us an idea. 100, 200, 1,000, 500. I mean, you've got a big, broad source out there that you've got to stay in touch with to keep them involved.
I don't.
More than you want to remember.
I don't know, between 100 and 200 right now.
Okay.
It depends with the youth. It's between 150, 200, and then with the adult, I'd say it's right around that same.
Well, that's great.
Range,
That's
too,
super that
so-
you've got that to draw from when you
Yes.
have that need. But you got to keep on them and remember them
Right,
and not forget them
right.
so they don't forget this
Mhm.
organization
Yep.
and you and your needs.
Yes.
Great. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No.
Other than if you can use them, how do they contact you again?
I am at 231-722-6600, extension 13. We always need volunteers. As Rana said, we've got 3 more drills this month that we need volunteers for, and there are other multitudes of opportunities out there, so definitely call.
If you don't want to volunteer but just have questions to ask, don't be afraid to call. They'll answer your questions, and they'll try to sign you up as a volunteer. You need this community needs you. Well, thank you, West Michigan, for watching. This has been a great opportunity for me, a great learning thing, and we are at the Volunteer Center of West Michigan, which used to be called Volunteer Muskegon.